Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. This is Bobby. Welcome to episode 99 of SoulsBorne Battles to the Death. 1 week away from a very special episode 100 of SoulsBorne Battles to the Death, which is going to be a SoulsBorne Battle Royal. So one way or another, we're having a battle royal on that show. So definitely come back and check that out. That's going to be a fun time. I'm going to pick 8 SoulsBorne bosses, and then I'm going to decide a winner from those 8. I'm not going to do bios for all of them. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. I'm not doing that. But I will pick a winner from those 8, and I will probably give you a synopsis on how I think the victory occurred. So that is what you can look forward to next week. But this week is episode 99 of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to pick 2 random SoulsBorne bosses, and then they will be tasked with snow plowing, and whoever plows the most snow will be the winner. There has to be a property damage subtractor from this too, because they could do a lot of damage, and I don't want to damage too much property. I just want snow plowed. I want snow gone because I'm just so sick of it. They have to be able to get rid of all this snow and then, keep people's properties intact. I think that's very important, and I think people are going to be very happy that I made that qualifier. So, yeah, I better put that in there for insurance purposes. So, yeah. The battlefield has been cleared. It can house any and all SoulsBorne bosses, and it has housed all of them at least once in the SoulsBorne Battle Royal that we had several months back. There are pretty close to 100 SoulsBorne bosses in this little generator that I created, and some special spots that can create some fun and interesting scenarios. So we are going to stop this wheel, and we are going to see who the first competitor is going to be on episode 99 of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. Grave Lord Nito, one of the holders of one of the great souls from the original Dark Souls. Am I right? I believe so. And also, he has faced off against one of the greatest competitors in SoulsBorne Battle to the Death history. This guy. Yes, Gravelord Nito is one of 3 bosses that I have fought in SoulsBorne Battle to Death, and I have lost all of them because I must preserve the integrity of the games. So, someone says I must do so. Nito is, Nito is the personification of death, so, he is certainly no slouch, and not to be sneezed at for sure. And he has an army of skeletons with him that do not make this fight any easier. So, whenever you land on Gravelord Nito, it's, definitely not an easy night. You better pack a lunch because it's going to be a long one, and Nito's going to make you suffer for it. So, landing on Gravelord Nito is never a bad time. SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. There's going to be some interesting fights. So we're going to take this wheel for another spin. We are going to take this wheel for another spin, and we are going to decide the opponent for Gravelord Nito. I wonder how much snow Gravelord Nito could plow. Like I said, he's got a lot of skeletons to help him, so he could probably get a lot of work done. His magic might do him some good, too. So he could probably do a good job. I don't think he cares about the property damage, though. We might have to rework that part of the contract. All right. Gravelord Nito on one end of the battlefield, and on the other end of the battlefield, we have Dark Eater Midir. Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a heavyweight championship fight in our main event here on SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. This is one hell of a fight, actually, I think. Ooh, boy. This is a good one. You know what, though? Probably not a good... I can't. The legal department's going to be mad. All right, we're going to go to the contractually obligated bio, so let's have a look at Grave Lord Nito. After the first flame appeared in the world of Dark Souls, Grave Lord Nito was one of the first primordial humanoid beings that appeared underground, bringing life, death, and disparity, whatever that means. So was he a god or was he not a god? He was one of those who found one of the four Lord Souls, along with Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight, the Witch of Izalith, and later the Fervent Pygmy. Nito would die later on, but the power of his soul would bring him back to life, and with the power of necromancy, he would become a living mass of just skeleton corpses, conjoined skeletons, and I'm not so sure if that's a trade-up or not. Nito learned to harness the power of his Lord Soul and crafted it into his sword, the Grave Lord Sword, which was capable of bringing death to any living being, which is true of any sword, really. But yes, this sword is special. I believe it unleashes a toxin that builds up death or something. Nito would ally himself with Gwyn and the Witch of Izalith in their war against the dragons, and after a long battle they would emerge victorious, exterminating most of the archdragons and conquering the world. Afterwards, each of the lords developed their own civilizations in their own different places, and Nito goes back to the catacombs, and he basically becomes responsible for death in all forms, or some such thing. Nito is responsible for the ritual of kindling bonfires, so I guess we have him to thank for that. So thank you, Nito. We really appreciate it. It's very helpful in certain areas. At some point, a necromancer known as Pinwheel manages to come in and steal Nito's right of kindling, which I'd still like to know how that happened. At some point, the followers of a divine cult raid the catacombs and try to steal Nito's mortal power, but they fail and they end up dying down there. So when you play Dark Souls 1, you will eventually cross paths with Nito, because Nito has one of the Lord Souls that you need to get to the end of the game. So yeah, Nito is one of the top guys, I guess, and he is most certainly a formidable opponent. He's a boss that people like to talk about. People haven't forgotten about Nito, but yeah, he's certainly yeah. You don't mess with Nito. You don't mess with death. You know, I think that goes without saying. I think it's a good rule of thumb to not mess with death. So therefore, you don't mess with Grave Lord Nito. Dark Eater Midir is a descendant of the Archdragons and was raised by the gods themselves. His immortality made him a valuable weapon in fighting the Abyss and his creations. In fact, his nickname implies that he may have eaten parts of the Abyss and its creations. But, as the Abyss tends to do, the Abyss damaged Midir beyond repair, and the dark seeped into him and infected him, forming black crystals all over his body and his scales. You can't really tell or not whether he's been fully consumed, but it's very clear when you fight him, because he's able to use the dark in combat. He's able to use dark sorceries. Dark Eater Midir is one of the most difficult bosses in the entire game, but also one of the coolest. He's probably my favorite dragon in the entire FromSoft universe. When you first fight him, I mean, he's got so many attacks, and just that initial attack that he does, where basically he's just, I don't know, just attack after attack across the entire arena, and then he spins around, and you know, it's very difficult to fight an enemy like that. And that's only the beginning. He has plenty of weapons at his disposal. Plenty of attacks that can do massive damage. But that is nothing compared to his one-hit kill bullshit laser attack in the second phase. Yeah, that one. When it comes to formidable opponents in SoulsBorne Battle to the Death, Midir is at the top of the list, if not very close. He is certainly one of the most difficult opponents in the entire game, and in any of the FromSoft games. But I just can't stop talking about how cool he is, how cool he looks. Just that beginning part where you drop down and he gets up and he roars and he spreads his wings. He looks so freaking awesome. And, I don't know. I can't stop gushing about Dark Eater Midir. But when you're standing across the arena from him, it's a daunting sight, to be sure. And Midir is always a force to be reckoned with. And for sure, not one to be taken lightly. That's absolutely for certain. Gravelord Nito and Dark Eater Midir. You put those names on top of a piece of paper, and that looks like a fight for the ages. Like, that's a fight that could rock any universe in the FromSoft, multiverse. This would certainly be a very, very difficult but fun fight to watch. Both combatants are very powerful. Both combatants have many tools at their disposal, and it would certainly be an interesting contest to watch. That's for sure. The more I think about it, though, I think the longer the fight goes on, the more it favors Dark Eater Midir, and I think Midir is just that much more powerful and has that many more tools at his disposal. I don't think Gravelord Nito has what it takes to go the distance with Midir. I just don't. I don't think that Gravelord Nito can stand up to him, even with his legions of dead. I'm pretty sure Midir would just wipe them out anyways. So this really comes down to Midir versus Nito one-on-one, and I think one-on-one, I don't think Nito can stand up to Midir. I think Midir walks away the victor in this heavyweight championship fight. But that is just my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments. And with that, yet another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death draws to a close. RobertBlanchardBooks.com. If you're interested in the award-winning Roar of a Dragon series, you can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. If you'd like to hear more about them, the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. My Linktree, my Instagram, my Twitter, all Bobby's World 2110. Mondays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Elden Ring No Crimson Flask Run, Volume 2, Lernia of the Lakes. If you are wondering why it is not the Dark Souls Remastered No SS Run, it is because Ornstein and Smaug defeated me, and that's all there is to it. There is talk that I may go back and revisit that after this run of Elden Ring, when I've leveled up to a proper level to fight Ornstein and Smaug, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, now it's Elden Ring, Lernia of the Lakes, No Crimson Flask. Back in the archives, I have the Dark Souls Remastered No SS Run. I have the Sekiro No Healing Guard Run. I have the Dark Souls 3 No SS Run, and the Dark Souls 3 No Level Up Run. I feel like I'm missing one in there. What am I missing? Dark Souls Remastered. Oh, I have Elden Ring Volume 1, Limgrave, the No Crimson Flask Run. So, yeah, check those out if you are interested. Losing my train of thought. The Your Father Story videos, there are 7 of those. Check out me answering questions from a book, where you write in the book answers that you would leave for your children. Just talking about life and things that you would tell them to prepare for how you would deal with life and memories and all this stuff. And it's a vlog style type thing. It's very popular in my household. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, that would be the place to do it. The Bobby's World Hunger Games, there's 28 of those to go check out. I should do another one very shortly. I'm past due on that one. There are some special episodes of the Hunger Games also to check out. Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what you're watching right now. SoulsBorne Battle to the Death, and we are 1 week away from episode 100. And that is going to be a SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. Duh, that's the title of the program. It is going to be a SoulsBorne Battle Royal. I am going to pick 8 SoulsBorne bosses, and I'm going to pick a winner and basically give you probably a scenario of how I think that fight would probably go. So that's going to be a fun time. So get ready for that. That's going to be. I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Programming note: Bobby's Gaming Lounge. It was Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am now going to move it. It's not going to be Wednesdays anymore. It's going to be Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It just works out better with my schedule. So yeah, it's now going to be Saturdays at 7 p.m. This Saturday, am I doing it this Saturday? Or am I skipping it? I was thinking I was going to do this Wednesday, and then I don't know. Maybe I'll just move it to Saturday. I think as of right now, I'm officially moving it to Saturday. I was going to do one more Wednesday and then do the following Saturday, but I think I'm just going to do it straight up this Saturday. This Saturday is going to be the Resident Evil 3 remake. I'm going to do a speed run. Yeah, I'm just going to do a speed run of Resident Evil 3. It's not something I haven't done before, but it is something that, it's just fun. We go in there and have some fun and blow up some zombies, and you guys can come hang out with me and chat, and, we can just make fun of everything that's happening. So, there you go. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be Saturdays from now on, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bobby's Gaming Lounge. So, yeah, come hang out with me. We'll have a lot of fun, and, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Leave a like, subscribe, notifications, and all that nonsense. Yeah, things are getting busy. Things are getting very, very busy. My schedule is just packed right now with the management training stuff, and I just don't have that much time. And it was actually Kate's suggestion to move Bobby's Gaming Lounge to Saturdays. What happened was, I don't see Christian as much anymore either. He's also working, so he's working during the times I come home from work, and he's already at work, and he doesn't come home until nighttime. So I happened to see him when he came home from work a couple nights ago, and I showed him the short from the Call of Duty Bobby's Gaming Lounge, and he was sad that he missed it, and I felt bad. Him and his friends like to attend, and they're just great supporters, and I appreciate them so very much. And I was telling Kate about that, and Kate was like, well, why don't you move it to Saturdays? It probably works better with your schedule anyway, which it does. Last Wednesday I did the stream, and then I had like another thing to take care of, and then Christian ended up coming home from work, and then I ended up getting like 2 hours sleep and having to go back to work. So yeah, Saturdays I think is going to work a lot better. So that's what we're going to do from now on, I think. It'll just work a lot better, and it's going to be the same amount of fun. So yeah, come hang out with me. Thank you all so very much. The subscriber count is still climbing. You guys are crazy, and I really appreciate it. The views are up. I've talked about that. The watch times are up. The short views are out of control. Like the one I did for Back 4 Blood has like 11,000 views. The one I did for Sekiro has 8,000. I don't even know how that happened. Like, I was showing Christian that one short from Call of Duty, and I was like, yeah, the Back 4 Blood one has 11,000. I'm like, what? The Sekiro one has 8,000? What the hell happened there? I had gotten like 4,000 views in the last 2 days. Like, I have no words for how much that means to me, especially with everything going on right now, and just, I'm so freaking busy, and I'm so tired having to get up so freaking early in the morning. So, yeah, that's basically all I got to say, is that you guys are amazing, and I love you so very much. Just means a lot to me. So as long as you guys are still enjoying the content, I'm going to keep pushing out as much as I possibly can. So yeah, that's the plan from here on out. The plan is that the plan doesn't change. So no matter how much I'm working, I'm just going to keep just slamming out content. So yeah, that's all I really got to say. So I hope you guys have an amazing week. Get ready for SoulsBorne 100. That's going to be awesome. Be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. See y'all safe alive, y'all. Bye.
Hey, boss.
Yes, Courtney.
Mrs. Anderson called. She wanted to order several copies of your books for family and friends.
Oh, that's amazing. Get some ordered, have them sent over to me, and I will sign them for her. I really appreciate it if you could do that for me.
I didn't know you were an author.
You did. Courtney, you've been with me for like 2 years now, and we've talked about it fairly constantly, and there's an ad at the end of every one of these videos.
Well, that doesn't mean that I listen to everything you tell me. Are the books any good?
Well, readersfavorite.com said that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. I know, that's pretty crazy, but that's exactly what it says. It's on the Cry of a Raven review. Go check it out.
Well, that's pretty cool. What are the books about?
It's about a soldier who gets exiled for saving a baby dragon, and later he's killed, and he wakes up 3,000 years later with strange powers, and he's watched over by the very same dragon, and the world has been overrun by evil, and he now must travel back in time to stop the evil that started in his own home country.
Wow, that sounds interesting. How can I get copies of the books?
Well, you can go to robertblanchardbooks.com and order your copies there. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And if you want to hear more about them, you can listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast.
You have a podcast too?
You know what, Courtney? You are doing such an amazing job that I think you are due for a raise. How does that sound?
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Thank you, boss.
You bet. Too bad the raise is going to be when I raise a water balloon over her head and just... Maybe I'll wait until her mom calls. I think she'll find that pretty funny. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com right now and get your copies of the series that got 3 5-star reviews from readersfavorite.com, 3 Author Shout Recommended Reads Awards, and 2 Literary Titan Silver Awards. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free, read more reviews, short stories, and much more. And if you want to hear more about them, you can listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts.